Last one is the deep learning. Last one is the deep learning. Last one is the deep learning. In deep learning, it is means using ANN kind of the network, so that with the huge amount of data, those process can be performed. So machine learning is having 3 dimensions: supervised, unsupervised, and reinforcement. It is kind of especially kind of different kind of domain. So we were talking about the sensors, because definitely if we are going to the era of automation and we are looking for the era of automation, then what it will require? It will definitely require a range of sensors which will be required. Means range of sensors means we will need a kind of sensors, means a new range of sensors, because now the sensors will be equipped at each and every places. But not are we having such kind of sensors at each and every places? No. Suppose we are having water level sensor. Okay, just for a simple thing, we are having a water level sensor. That water level sensor which is available in the market right now, which is fully automated, means it can interact with the IoT or it can interact with the machine, is made for water tanks, which is our house. But it is not for water reservoirs or overhead water tanks. Sometimes where we can see that Nagar Nigam or all these panchayat are making overhead water tanks. But whether that overhead water tank is fully filled or not, that data can be also made available to the people residing in that particular area. So the water level sensor, which have been designed for our home appliances, means home water tank available at a home, cannot work there. So there is a large amount of opportunity we need to explore, because in the future we will definitely need such kind of the sensor network. In those sensor network, we have to go to the real world and explore different kinds of the sensors which are required, so that all the data, all these physical quantities which can be converted into the data, and those informations can be communicated further, and the corrective measures or the decision or the information broadcast can be performed accordingly. So the sensor is a device which detects or measures a physical quantity and converts it into the signal that can be read by observer or any instrument. So these are the sensors. So what is the difference between sensor and transducer? Transducer is a kind of simple term, means a transducer is a kind of device which will convert one physical quantity into another. Just for an example, if you are having a microphone, within a microphone, what is having? I am speaking, then certain amount of the pressure is being released from my vocal cord, and due to those different kind of the levels of the pressure, the piezoelectric sensor at the microphone is sensing different kind of pressure, and according to that pressure, it is generating different kind of electrical signals. So means transducer is just conversion of one kind of the energy to the another kind of the energy. So we can classify transducer in different types, means active and passive. Active transducers are those transducers in which the physical quantity will automatically drive the sensor. Means we won't need another kind of the external kind of the supply, so that sensor can be driven. Then after, passive kind of the transducer. Passive kind of the transducer are those transducers in which we will need an external supply. Then after, analog and digital, the output will be analog or the output will be digital. Definitely in most of the sensors, the output is normally analog. Okay, we have to convert it into digital, and by the help of analog output, we can process the data and we can obtain the data up to a different level. Then after, primary sensors and secondary sensors. Primary sensors are those sensors in which the physical quantity just transferred from one to the another. And in secondary kind of the transducer, the physical quantity is transferred from one to the another, and then after whatever is required to us, then based upon what kind of the properties it is having resistive, capacitive, or inductive. It can be of different types. So American National Standard Institute, according to it, the sensor definition is a device which provides an unstable output in response to the specified measures. A sensor acquires a physical parameter and converts it into the signal suitable for processing. And there are different kinds of the transducers based upon stimuli: osmotic, biological, chemical, electrical, magnetic, optical, thermal, or mechanical. There are different kinds of stimuli, and based upon different kinds of the stimulus, different kinds of sensors can be defined, and they can process different kinds of activities. There are a few basic principles in each sensor. There are a few basic principles which will be performed, just like as Ampere's law means a current carrying conductor in a magnetic field will experience a force, just like as a galvanometer. Then after Curie's law, Faraday's law of photoconductive effect. These are basic principles, and there are a few basic principles. All the sensors works on the basic principle. Just we have to obtain that what kind of the physical quantity we have to convert into the another. So what is the need of the sensor? Definitely, if we will see that without sensor, there is no possibility of automation. Means we cannot do the automation without the help of sensor. We cannot sense without automation cannot be performed without having the sensor. These are the range of sensors which are presently we are having, means temperature sensor, proximity sensor, accelerometer, IR sensor, pressure sensor, light sensor, ultrasonic sensor, smoke and gas sensor, touch sensor, humidity sensor, position sensor. These are just an example. There are a range of sensors which are available. And for example, an IR sensor is infrared sensor, so it can detect a person presence. Suppose, just an simplest example, if I want to just switch off the light when I am not in the room, then I have to put an IR sensor on the door. By the help of IR sensor, it will detect when I will come, it will send a signal and the light will be switched on. And when I will go out, it will again detect and the light will be switched off. Although a lot of programming will be required, maybe you have to deploy 2 IR sensors, because suppose if a person enters and another at another time another person enters, then how it will detect that the person has entered or person have came out? So you may need that you have to deploy 2 IR sensors so that you can obtain that whether the person is entering or whether the person is going out. Okay, depending upon those, you can how many persons in the room, you can control the fan speed, the air conditioning is of a particular room. After ultrasonic sensor, this is used for the distance measurement. Ultrasonic waves are transmitted, and then after reflection back, these are received, and based upon the time lapsed, we can sense the distance. These are MEMS kind of the sensor, means it is kind of pressure sensor, and by the help of this pressure sensor, this is used to measure different kind of things, just like if we want to measure the pressure, if we want to measure a kind of blood pressure, so these kind of the sensors will be used. So within it, the diaphragm will be here, and when the pressure will be exerted on the diaphragm, then definitely it will have a tensile stress, and based upon those tensile stress, the resistance will change, and based upon those resistance, we can sense that what the pressure is being observed, and the data can be calibrated, and we can have an output. Then light sensor, just like as a LDR, in which photodiode or a photoconductor or photoresistor, in which the light will come, and then after we can see that the current will flow within it. Then after temperature sensor, it can be of thermistor type, light dependent resistance type, or different kind of the temperature sensing parameters, thermocouple type. So these are different kind of the temperature sensing facilities are there. These are the range of the sensors which are available, just like the heartbeat sensor, IR sensor, raindrop sensor. In that particular raindrop sensor, what will happen? Kind of impedance patch have been made, and if the rain will drop, then definitely the electric constant within these will change, and dependent upon these, the impedance will change, and based upon those impedance, we can have a kind of whether the rain is falling or not. Okay, so these are different kinds of sensors. What are the smart sensors? Definitely, we need a smart sensor. Smart sensors are those sensors which will have a memory and the standardized physical connection for the communication to the data network. Means it will have a sensing unit, then after it will have a pre-processing unit, then it will have a data conversion unit, and it will itself have some kind of the algos which can perform different kind of the activities, and then after send this data to the cloud. So why this is why there is need of a smart sensor? Because we are living in the data driven world. Okay, and we need the interconnected resources of the optimization is required, high kind of the accuracy is required, and high efficiency is required. Suppose I am looking to monitor the water resources at the different kind of location. So what I will need that those sensors to be energy efficient, because I can't put power supply on the remote locations, and I can't change the battery every time. So we have to make those sensors energy efficient. Means those sensors should be capable of self-power generating, means they can use the solar light, or their processing power should be minimum, and they should be able to transmit very useful data to the gateway so that it can be further communicated. Second thing, another thing is it should have a range. It should have a good range. Means it should have a kind of range so that it can make a backup interconnection within it. So what are the future sensor requirement? Means it can perform the remote monitoring, it can perform the long distance communication, it can perform the multiple sensing capability. It should have the multiple sensing capability. Means it can perform a single sensor we are deploying, and we are having different kind of the sensing capabilities. And then after, there are different communication protocols are available. It should be compatible to all those communication protocols. Data pre-processing, a huge amount of data will be sensed by the sensor, but that should be pre-processed. Only useful data should be transferred to the other end, and the lesser data load. So what is the upcoming era of the sensor? This is computer vision. So if we are having a camera, then maybe, and with the help of that camera or images, if we can make our elbows so much powerful that by the help of those images or videos, it can detect a large amount of data required, whatever amount of data is needed, then we won't need such kind of sensor. So we are seeing a kind of emergence in this computer vision technology, and people are now looking for it, that how the computer vision can be deployed at the different applications. So by the help of the computer vision, we are minimizing the need of sensor requirement, and by the help of those images, we can process the huge amount of data and can extract the large amount of information which is required. So the computer vision is a kind of a term which is exploring a new era of sensor network. This is just an example of a smart city which will be fully automated. Means where the gas pipeline, water leakage detection will be automatically there. Then after, smart healthcare facilities will be there, intelligent shopping will be there, the environment and the air pollution, all those capabilities will be there. And means whatever you think, those things can be automated, and those data can be put on your mobile phone on a single switch, single button, and you can access all those data very easily. So what will be the process of exploring the new domain of automation? So how the definitely we at the college are working on 2 or 3 projects right now. One is automated cooking robot. We are also looking for to make and automatic cooking robot. Then after, we are looking for the smart dustbin, which will not only look after the how much garbage is coming out, but also they are looking that what kind of the garbage people are producing. And we can also process on those data, so that those data can be well monitored in further stage. Then after, fire safety exit means how the fire safety exit or fire safety equipments can be fully automated, because in the upcoming days we will see a lot kind of fire incidents will occur in the future. And then after, in the almost 30 to 40% areas of the India is water drain region. In water drain region, what is water scarcity is really very big problem. And we are not understanding these problem. We are wasting a huge amount of water. And even suppose if you are drinking a water which is not a kind of up to the mark quality, up to the quality which should be drinkable, but how you can measure it? We are not having such kind of instrument. We are having kind of barcode scanners or such kind of things, but we are not having such kind of instruments, so that by just seeing the images, we can identify that what is the water quality. Means water quality measurement is still need the labs, so that it can be tested. And those labs will give data after 2 or 3 days. So or at least 4 to 5 hours, means you have to bring out the take the sample, and then after put it, send it to the lab. And then after just coming out from the lab, you can see that whether the water is usable or not. So depending upon all these things, there are a lot. We are at our college are working on this. So what is the process we follow to explore those kind of how we can go for these things? So this is the process. Number one is to identify real life issue needed to be automated. Number one is this. Then number two, we will make a team, and that team should be means kind of sincere people. Then after, the brainstorming sessions will be organized. Means everyone will come with unbiased position on a particular take, and then after it will put its pitch, means what he thinks about this problem, how this problem can be solved. Then after, based upon those brainstorming, 4 to 5 people who are means regularly kind of interacting with each other, then after they will put down those ideas which have been, when you will communicate with each other, then you will find out a kind of useful information from it. So based upon those useful information, you will draft an idea. Now, based upon drafted idea, you will do the literature survey. Whatever your idea you have made, maybe that it have been done in the past also. So you have to look after it, whether these ideas have been implemented in the past. So whether it has been implemented in the past, then what are the limitation in those? Every idea has its limitation. So you have to find out those limitations, and based upon those limitations, you have to again do the brainstorming sessions, and then after find out the new areas or ideas you have to work. And definitely to work on those new areas or ideas, you need to you will need a kind of expertise. So you will need expertise on it. So means to suppose you are working, you want to work on IoT, so you have to be means fully expertise with Node MCU, Arduino, or all these things. So you have to means practice all those things, and then after at the prototype, and then after patent it, and if you are successful, then you can go for the production. So this is the this is the process how you can explore the new area of automation. These are the references I have gone through. You can also refer to the courses, that is sensors on actuators. There is NPTEL course. Then after, there is a course on computer vision from the NPTEL, and there is a course on Internet of Things, and the data which has been provided is through IEEE. Thank you very much. If you have any query, then you are most welcome.
Thank you so much, sir. Sir, session was wonderful. You have gone through the automation and robotics difference and their objectives, and very nice Kimpel smart home example from the YouTube, sir. So on behalf of Sage Group. I'm presenting a token of appreciation, sir. Kindly accept from our side.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much for providing me such kind of platform that I can communicate it with. I can communicate with academics people, and definitely we have to make we are living in the era of electronic age, and definitely the people may say that okay, that electronics is kind of branch, but I am very sure that this is an era of electronics engineers, and the
Yes,
future
sir.
coming days are definitely are going to be driven by those electronics engineers.
Definitely, sir. So thank you so much, sir. And we will share your certificate and thing on your mail separately.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir. Thank you.
And thank you, participants.